Sitting here today with Mr. Sam Davis, a Bedford County native. Sam, it's good to have you sitting over here in front of me. We've been talking a lot, but now we're gonna do it on camera where everybody can hear it.
Well, that's right. And, it's born, raised here, right up here in Bedford County General.
Yeah,
Lived here my whole life.
me too. So
Live within a mile and a half where I was raised.
this is just two Bedford County natives talking.
This is just us, casual conversation.
All right, Sam, I'm gonna ask you this. I know we could talk about a lot of things. We could talk about farming. We could talk about Bedford County and how great it is. What do you see right now, though, as our biggest issue in Bedford County?
Well, the biggest issue we got going on now is we got this local election coming, and there's a lot of new candidates coming. We got some, I don't want to say outside forces there within the county. That's going to say it. We got this political action committee.
Yeah,
it's creating quite a bit of division out there. I hear that word a lot. A lot of people don't like PACs. I don't. I'm not here to beat up on them. Know all these people. I can give them a call on telephone. And just people need to get out and vote. Voter turnout is I don't know. Without but making a bad word here, it's just miserable. It's pitiful. It's miserable. People need to get out and vote. And you don't have to vote for my candidate. I mean, it's your prerogative. It's your right to vote. Go. I'd like to see you vote for who I like, but go vote.
Well, here's another issue I want to bring up. The fact that you might vote for somebody different than me should not upset me.
I'm not mad at you at all.
All right, and it seems like right now people are coming to blows.
Oh, yes.
Especially on social media, Facebook particularly. Yeah. I think it has brought the worst out in everybody. I mean, how do we move through this election, Sam, and at the end of it, hope that we can correct some of the mistakes that's been made in the past, that we can't all get on the same page and just have a conversation and disagree without wanting to come to blows?
Well, it's...
how we do it?
I was taught in school, a little cracker box schools that I went to, Aiken right over here, compromise.
Yeah.
Compromise, discussion and compromise.
Well,
I don't have to agree with you, and you don't have to agree with me, but if we're working for the citizens,
right,
we're a servant of the citizens.
Right.
We're not, everybody want to call us leaders.
No,
call
exactly.
Commissioners and mayors and senators and all that. Leaders. They're not leaders.
That's the biggest scam in politics I've ever seen. It's called somebody a leader.
They're not a leader.
No,
they're a servant.
They're right. They work for the public. They work for the taxpayer.
Work for the taxpayer. Work for the voters. They work for a voter. And we hear a lot of that. You don't vote, don't complain, and I stand by that a lot. People start talking to me a lot of times. I say, "Do you vote?" Well, no, I ain't never voted a day in my life. Well, then I don't want to be mean to you, but your opinion really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I like I said, I don't want to be mean. I try not to be mean to anybody. But and it's just, and some people will take them back and they'll think about it. And I'm like, if you didn't vote, well, they say, well, I pay taxes. Well, I do too. But if you didn't vote, what are you going to complain about?
Yeah.
I mean, if David Thomas is my mayor and I didn't vote at all, how am I going to say what he's doing is right or wrong?
Yeah.
I'm a taxpayer, and I guess I've got a little bit of opinion.
Yeah, I mean, as taxpayers, but if you're a taxpayer, you ought to vote.
You should
vote.
All
right, so we've established the fact that we need to vote. All right, now after the election, there's this establishment that seems to have always been in all local governments, and we've got our own.
It's everywhere.
All right, why does the establishment get bent out of shape when somebody asks a question, questions what's going on, or even starts talking about it and wanting to have a conversation? Why do you get shut down the minute you start trying to do that? Or you're a troublemaker. You're labeled a troublemaker if you even want to talk about it. Why is that?
Well, if you go against the flow just a little bit, you're going to get labeled a troublemaker. And it's in every county government. It's not just Bedford.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Since I kind of started watching things, I get little pop-ups from all over the nation.
Yep.
London, Kentucky's got a fight going on their hands right now. It's just nasty.
Yeah.
There's one or two out in Oklahoma. They just some everywhere. I mean, it's every little place. And I don't want to use the phrase "good old boys," but I mean, we all know who runs the show. Well, they've done it for years, and I think people in my generation and behind me, 10, 15 years, I think they're starting to wake up to it.
Yeah.
They're seeing taxes go up. Services are not what they were. Of course, with population, we're outgrowing ourselves.
Yeah.
It's not just us. It's not just us, not just Bedford County, not hammering growth here. It's everywhere.
Right.
We're outgrowing ourselves.
Right.
We're outrunning ourselves. And And you and I and those people as taxpayers, we're feeling the pinch. You know,
Yeah.
our property taxes going up. We had a reappraisal, gonna come back down a little bit here, but we all know it's fixing to go back up.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to have money. We got raises. Every cost of doing business is higher all the way around. It's a tenfold, might even be a 20-fold problem.
Well,
So-
I want you mentioned your age group and people behind you. I'm a little older than you, and I'm going to say our age group. I'm in my I'm 63. Okay. I think people my age and a little bit older have just kind of just at some point got apathy and just said it don't make any difference how we vote. They're just going to keep doing the same old thing over and over again. And what I hear you saying is maybe your age and younger are starting to pay more attention and expect better.
Well, you know, you're on the tail end of the baby boomers.
Yep.
The tail end of the baby boomers. You're 10 years older than me. So I had a big birthday here the other day.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
you
thank
made
you,
another one.
Thank you. Made one more trip. And, you know, so you are the largest, you're the tail end of the largest group of
Right.
citizens, the boomers. The boomers come
Yeah,
back.
and,
you
and
know,
we're catching blame for
and you're
everything
you're
right
catching
now.
all the
right,
blame.
and I'll be honest with you. I agree with most of what people are saying. A lot of younger people are looking at you say it's your fault.
well, and,
Well, and honestly, it is. It's our fault that we find ourselves in this condition that we're talking about right now.
well,
a lot of it is.
and a lot of it is maybe your maybe your parents, maybe your grandparents, maybe, and that's where I think establishments or systems, let's say, gets a hook.
Yeah.
Because you know your parent think you need to vote on this side of the
Right.
the margin every time, and maybe your other parent thinks you might have to get somewhere in the middle or on the other side.
Yeah.
And it draws a lot of fire. I've drawn a lot of fire through my life over it. And just get somewhere and vote. My thing is vote.
Yeah.
I don't care which side of the road you want to be on. Just get on one side of it and stay there.
If somebody
Vote.
comes out and you really feel good about that person representing you, you should vote for them.
It doesn't matter.
Now, if it don't matter how smart they are, if they can just listen and convey your concerns at the level where they're at the table making decisions.
I akin it to a box of toothpicks. Drop a box of toothpicks here.
Yeah.
We know what kind of mess that is. You don't have to be the smartest person in the world, but if you can get those toothpicks and just make those dollars, make
Yeah.
those tax dollars,
Yeah.
pile those toothpicks back up, get them back in the box,
Yeah.
or get them where they need to go. It's very important you're able to do that. Doesn't matter. You can be a Harvard graduate or graduate Sheffield Central High School like I did, and
Yeah.
you can figure it out. 2 + 2 is 4. Always
Yeah.
has been.
Yeah.
Always will be. But we got to vote.
Yeah.
And like I said, my age group, you need to wake up. If you ain't awake, down below me, down into the 30s, down all the way into 18. I'm not against that. I'm not saying 18-year-old don't know who to vote for. Go in there and vote.
Yeah. They got the
Go in
right
there and
to.
vote. They got the right
yeah.
to go vote.
And it's a privilege.
And it is a privilege, and it's one that we as a citizenry do not exercise to our fullest advantage.
I have the hope, Sam, that once this election's over, that we can correct some things that we've done wrong over the years. Do you see that that's a possibility?
I think so. In this county and other counties and even in the state, I think it is. I think it can be corrected. It's probably, let's say, it's not going to be painless.
Oh no.
Cause
Well, let's face what's happened, Sam. We were talking earlier about people moving in here. I mean, we are faced with what every other county in this region. Actually, the whole United States is moving to the southeast. If you look at
a
it,
pretty good place to be.
exactly. And
Yeah.
I'm flattered. We should be flattered that they're coming, but we're just not planning for it.
Mhm.
And we gotta build a plane while we're flying it.
Well, that's it. That's where we're at.
And
We're
we
building
need people
planes.
capable of being able to do that.
And we do, and they need to be like, I don't want to say they need to have an agenda, but they need to be open-minded, and they need to have a vision.
Yeah.
And if uncontrolled growth is your vision, that's not my vision. Now, do I have to hate you over that? No.
No.
Sure,
That's the
goodness,
thing.
we can find a place here to be where
Yeah.
we can be and get these people in here. They're coming here from other parts of the country. They don't think like we do.
No.
A lot of them don't talk like we do.
No, no.
And,
And that's all right.
And that's fine too, but they don't think like we do. Some of them don't have the values we do. Some of them do. Not talking
Yeah.
about anybody. I'm just
Right.
stating facts here.
They brought up
So-
in a different
They
way.
brought up in a different way. It's kind of like a friend of mine. I told him, I said, if you'd have been raised where I was, and I'd been raised where you were, I'd talk like you do, and you talk like I do.
Exactly.
And that's just kind of how it goes. But
Sam, don't you think about 90% of the people around here, though, understand that if we just started building and just uncontrollable, that it's not sustainable? I think 90% of the people have enough common sense to understand that.
we can't just keep going wide open.
No,
We just
No.
can't. We're on the Duck River.
it's limited.
Limited water.
Limited.
Limited water. We're already limited water. We got places going on downstream, setting a conversation a couple of years ago, talking about Mount Pleasant, some of the other places,
Yep.
Wanting to dig lakes and like one place bought a 500-acre tract, gonna dig a big lake, gonna have to catch flood water, overrun when we have too much rain and use it. So water's going to be a big thing. A lot of people move to this region because we're the first stop on the Duck River. We get our, Shelbyville and Bedford County Utility,
Yeah.
get our water where we're the first stop, and we're going to run out of water.
Yeah.
When I was in grade school, they talked about another country didn't have water, and I had a teacher said we may be faced with that one of these days, and I believe I've lived long enough to see it happen. I'm not saying we're out of water.
We're getting close.
But they're saying we're in a 40-year drought.
Yeah.
In the 95% of the Tennessee River watershed's in a 40-year drought. So
And the Duck River is not just a water supply to us. It is one of the most biodiverse rivers in the world.
in the world,
I mean, there's
in
been
the world,
there's
not the state,
National
not the United
Geographic.
States.
I know it.
Not the United States.
I mean, we're
the world.
compared with the Nile River
Right.
and the
the
Amazon
Ganges.
and all these big rivers that have diversity in it. And we've got a jewel running through Bedford County, and everybody's concerned about it right now,
Yeah,
and should be.
And some people are more concerned than others. And everybody's got their little thing.
Right.
Everybody's got their little thing, that they want to keep up
Yeah.
with. or they
Oh,
wanna
yeah.
push.
Yeah, everybody's got
and
that.
that's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody's got their little thing. That's fine. But water's one thing we're going to have.
Well, my hope, Sam, is that everybody gets out and vote, and after that election, we can correct some of our mistakes and move forward to where we can have a conversation without wanting to kill each other.
Well, we need to have a conversation.
Yeah.
And I know we say it, the establishment, and then we have the PAC and all that. And these folks are going to have to come along here together. And these candidates going to have to get together. And we're going to, when they get elected, if whoever they are,
Well, you know
they're
what?
going to have to get together
Here's
and
one
have
thing.
conversations.
Here's the way I look at it, Sam, and I don't know if you agree with this. Just tell me if you do or don't, and
Good
we'll be
man.
fine. But I don't think that me as a taxpayer, whether I give money to a candidate that gets elected or not, should have any more influence than the guy that don't. I mean, if I gave you, if you're running, I gave you $1,000, I shouldn't have any more influence over than a guy that's sitting over here that didn't give you a dime.
No, but we all know most of them do. But most people aren't. A lot of people we got running here running on their own 2 feet.
Exactly.
They're running on their own
Yes.
2 feet. They're standing up. They're being the gentleman, or they're being a lady, and they're running on their own 2 feet. Whatever that dollar amount they
Yep.
wanted to do out of their own pocket, and it just has a lot. In
Well-
my opinion, has a lot to say toward your
Right.
personal
Right.
integrity
Right.
and your personal responsibility to your person. If you finance yourself, you answer to no man but yourself and your constituency. If you take money, and it's in everything, it's in
Yeah.
church league baseball,
Oh,
all the
yeah.
way down.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean, all the way
yeah.
down to the cake.
Always has been.
Always has been. But when you take large sums of money from people,
There's a lot of good candidates that are out there that are running for office that don't have a 5,000 signs scattered all over the county. They might have a dozen or two.
2 or 3 dozen
And those folks need to have a second look. Take a look at these people. Why are they doing what they're doing? They're putting themselves out there for criticism,
and they're
and they're
it
willing to do
alone.
it.
And they're
And
going,
going
it
it
alone.
alone.
They're
Yeah.
not. They're not.
There's a
they're-
lot to be said for
They're,
that.
they're going it alone, and in my opinion, I'm gonna look at them people a whole lot closer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at them people a whole
Yeah.
lot closer. I'm gonna
Yeah.
be like, you're not,
All right.
you're not
Words of wisdom from Sam
Yeah,
Davis
you're,
today.
you're not. You're not. You're on your own. You're being your own man or your
Yeah.
own woman. you're being your own person.
All right, I tell you what, Sam. After this election, we're gonna sit down and we're gonna talk about what happened.
Oh Lordy, yeah, we'll do it. We'll
Thanks,
sure
Sam.
do it.
Thanks for coming
All
by.
right.
Thanks for watching,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Thanks for listening and playing along.
All right.